Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, Kal Halal. All praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Akakodash, Brakatam. Double honors shall go to apostles, elders, and bishops of great millstone who continue to teach it to rule well. Shalom to the Akims, a great millstone of like-minded camps and individuals who continue to teach as one body, who continue to be out on the highways and byways, risking their lives for the greater good. Shalom to the sincere Aquads who are continuously learning in silence, as the Holy Scriptures have commanded for you to do so. And also shalom to the true believers and subscribers of this true gospel, for this should be considered a true blessing from the higher power. This is Azariah Gabar, representing the King is Coming channel, back at it with another lesson for edification purposes. All right, so for you Jake Northern Kingdom tribes, I'm pretty sure by now you should know to stop trusting these Edomites, because there's a trend going on where these Edomites and Shedemites, they'll draw you in to do whatever kind of general labor work that they need, and they'll promise you the pay and everything, and probably even a glass of Kool-Aid, depending on where you're working at. And once that job is up, near completion, they'll pull a fast one they call ICE. Now your asses are in detention centers and being deported. Plus, they got the free labor. All right? So stop being estúpidos. All right? Stop it. Because y'all falling for the okie doke. All right? So you got Jay Reed, once again, the ultimate sympathizer. Okay? So his video is titled, "She Called ICE on These Workers She Hired. Now it's backfiring." Okay? So this is about a 9-minute video, so I'll play it in its entirety. So the title for my video lesson, Nabaratazar, will be pretty much along the same lines, but different wording. It'll be Karen calls ICE on workers. Okay? So before I play this video, fair use of the 1976 Copyright Act. For this video, strictly for education and edification purposes only. I'm not making a dime off this video. So I'll play this video in its entirety and then pull up some precepts like I usually do to support what I'm talking about. All right? So without any further delay, let's go.
Nos cayó la pinche ley, valió madre. Nos rodearon.
This is absolutely insane, guys. I honestly don't even have the words to explain the devastation of how I'm feeling in this video, guys. This lady right here, she allegedly, I'll let people later on in the video explain more about the situation, but basically she called ICE on the people who she called to fix her roof because she didn't want to pay. She didn't want to pay the workers, so she called ICE on them. And basically they came and, whether they were U.S. citizens or not, of course, they arrested and detained all of them. And we don't know the result of this. We don't have any video footage of after this. Until I show you later on what happened. But this is where we are, guys, and it's so sad. It's so devastating how divided we are in this country, how bad we are, full of hate, guys. Like, what are we talking about right now? What are we doing? This is crazy, guys, but this is reality. Let's check this out, though. This guy actually explains it further into detail.
So this woman right here is going viral and causing major debate for hiring migrant workers for a roof job, waits until the job is almost done, and then calls ICE to pick them up, allegedly owing them $10,000 for a 3-day job. According to reports, the homeowner from Cambridge, Maryland, allegedly knew the worker's immigration status up front and warned the roofing company against sending undocumented crew members. She then called ICE near the end of the job to arrest them. In the video, one of the workers said, "She called the law on us and now we're totally screwed." Among the whole crew, 6 Guatemalan illegals were arrested and are currently in custody, with one of the arrested family members telling a TV network, Univision, that the men were simply trying to work and support their families.
Yeah.
And as for the $10,000 that the homeowner owes that roofing company, there's no additional news on that.
And this is the problem I have with this. Yes, 100%. They're undocumented. They're not, citizens of the country. 100%. I can, accept that and agree with that, right? But what I do have a problem with is they're not going after criminals. They're not going after the people who are here doing bad things, doing all these insane cases of what they say, people are doing. They're going, only 30% of the people who ICE have detained and arrested and deported from the United States of America are criminals. Only 30%. Only 30%. So they're not targeting the right crew, or it's not that they're going after safety concerns. They're just going after an entire demographics as a whole. I thought when the administration came in, they said that criminals, we're going after criminals. We're going after bad people in the country. But that's not what they're doing. They're going after farm sites. They're going after construction sites. They're going after landscaping and all these other different places. They're going after people where they know that there is a high probability that they don't have papers on them, right? And yes, in this situation, 6 of them, they didn't have legal status within the country. But there have been other situations where the people were legal status, but they didn't give them opportunity to prove that they were citizens because they didn't have their papers on them at that moment, guys. It's the reality, though. It's not a process. It's none of that. It's just, hey, here are some Hispanics over here. Let's go and get them. All right. That's as blunt as I can say it. That might be controversial, but it is what it is. Hey, we see Hispanics here. Let's go and get them. We see Asians over here. Let's go and get them. I'm talking about Asians at the Hyundai plant, right? Or I think they were South Korean, right? But yes, hey, we see them over here. Let's go and get them. That is the state of where we are. The lady in that situation called ICE. The lady in this situation called ICE because she did not want to pay the workers. Wow, that's low. That is low. How low can you get? Let's dive deeper into this story. I think she adds another perspective as well.
On March 23rd, 2026, 6 Guatemalan workers were arrested by ICE while working on a home renovation in Cambridge, Maryland. Witnesses say that the crew had just finished fixing the roof when the homeowner decided that she was going to call immigration authorities on them instead of paying them. One of the workers has a wife that's 5 months pregnant with 2 other kids at home, and the other men also have families. Their lives were interrupted in an instant.
Let's pause right there. They don't care. They don't care about the lives. It's not about that anymore. Like that's way beyond the scope of where they're looking at. They just see, a person and they're here doing, I guess, bad things, I guess, whatever, right? And I'm not advocating for an open border whatsoever. That's not my perspective on this. I just want an effective process that is put in place, hence why we're currently in a partial government shutdown, because a lot of people are fighting for that as we speak. Because what happened in Minnesota, what happened in Illinois, what happened in all these other states is absolutely unacceptable.
This highlights the human cost of immigration enforcement in this country, and it also speaks to the ongoing and perpetuated pattern of labor exploitation and family separation in this country. They climbed her roof, they risked their bodies, they did the work, and the reward wasn't green American cash. It was a call to ICE. And the decision that did this, it came so easily, so casually.
Yeah.
It's because this country has literally always operated this way. America has not changed. It's only taken on a new face. The same nation that tore families apart during the slave trade, put a price on brown and black bodies, that forced labor and obedience through absolute violence, that nation still exists. We're living in it. But now it's ICE instead of chains, deportation instead of auctions. But the logic, the cruelty, it's not different. It's not different at all. We wanted their hands, but not their lives, their labor, but not their families, their work, but not their humanity. And that's why it was so simple for her to make this call. So easy. This is why we have got to stop calling what's happening Nazi Germany. No, that gives us an opportunity to further avoid accountability. This isn't Nazi Germany. This is the American South. Nazi Germany got a lot of their playbook from Jim Crow, which started in 1865. Hitler took over in 1933. So no, this isn't the Gestapo. This isn't Nazi Germany. It's the American South, and these are modern slave catchers. This country has always worked like this. That doesn't bother you. It's not because of ignorance. It's because you're comfortable and you're willing to put your own comfort above someone else's humanity. And that's what keeps oppression alive.
That's a different perspective on it. I actually didn't look at it from that perspective, but yeah, I do agree. I think that is very important on this look, because that's basically what she did. She got free labor, and because they weren't citizens or whatever, oh yeah, I can go ahead and get this free and, you know, not have to pay them because, yeah, you're illegal. But you still did the work. You still did a lot of different things, but there will be no repercussions of this. There won't be. There won't. Like, yes, she's getting backlash and all this is backfiring on her. People are going out and finding her.
Let's stop right here. Well, Mr. Reed, you're wrong. Because if you're a true man of the Lord, there will be repercussions. All right? It may not take place now, but these Edomites and Shedemites, according to the book of Revelation, and I'm just roughly paraphrasing, it says, he that leadeth to captivity shall be led into captivity. All right? So, trust that Karen Shedemite and the rest of her kind or her clan, oh yeah, there will be repercussions. Trust and believe. What you sow, you shall reap. Let's continue.
Families and not families, but her workplace and all these other people are doing the work behind the scenes and trying to find accountability. But ultimately, there's nothing going to be as a result of this. And even as I look deeper on this situation, you've also have situations where Trump and his team is basically trying to make it easier for migrants to work on farmers. But do you know specifically what they're saying? For the farmers to work or the migrants to work on the farms, they're basically saying, hey, yeah, you can come work on the farms, but you're going to make $1 an hour, $2 an hour. We'll give you housing, but you're only going to make $1 or $2 an hour. What is that? You know, what is that structure? What does that sound like? Yeah. So, yes, that's why I agree with what she's saying. That's basically what she's basically saying in the grand scheme of things, because, you know, that's where we are. They're trying to say, oh, if you want to be in a country, then yeah, this is what you do. This is your opportunity. And yes, while I do agree that there should be a path or a reasonable path or a revision to the path, and I'm not saying that they need to make it 100% easy and allow anybody into the country and, oh, everybody in and open borders. No, not 100, not absolutely not. But create a process and make it efficient to the point to where we're not, you know, losing our humanity on it.
All right, so that was the end of the video. All right. And that vile ass Karen, she even went as far as providing a ladder for those ICE agents once they showed up on the scene to climb to the rooftop where those migrants were still working and had them detained. Okay? So again, you northern tribes, stop being estúpido. Okay? Is a little bit of bread worth going through the nonsense and aggravation and possible even death in ICE detention camps? Really? So let's go to some precepts. And this is a doozy. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his, and in this case, her wickedness. Okay? Because remember, I myself and the rest of the Akims, we say it over and over and over like a broken record. Ezekiel 35:5. Esau having a perpetual hatred for Jacob. Roughly paraphrasing, all right? These Edomites hate your guts. Point blank. So stop falling for the okie doke. Because you're not doing yourselves any good. And again, with her not paying these laborers, she's committed evil. According to the book of Deuteronomy 24:15, it reads, at his day thou shalt give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor, and setteth his heart upon it. Yes, so these migrants, they're definitely setting their hearts upon the paychecks for their hard labor. All right? Lest he cry against thee unto the Lord, and it be sin upon thee, because that's a sin. All right? And it doesn't matter whether you Yasharala or not. Because verse 14, to back up what I just said, it reads, thou shalt not oppress an hired servant that is poor and needy, whether he be of thy brethren or of thy strangers that are in thy land, within thy gates. Woo! All right? So simply put, in this case, just because you're not Yasharala and you're the heathen, the Lord does not make that as an excuse for you guys to do what you do. Okay? So, like I said, this will be a quick video, quick lesson, but it's definitely to the point. So again, you northern tribes mainly, be careful, be on the lookout. Comprende? All right, so with that being said, all praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Makakudash, Brakatham, Kwam Yasharah, Rise Israel. And as always, Abaratazah, Lord willing, on to the next video. Shalom.